Trained dogs have become more and more important in the war efforts in Iraq and Afghanistan.
As we now know, a military dog was part of the SEAL team in the mission to kill Osama bin Laden.
In part 2 of her story, Angela Hill looks at how these special animals are cared for, and she looks at the ones being groomed to take their place.
It is an intense training program for both dogs and handlers. Not all dogs will make it, but those who do will be as important on the battlefield as any piece of machinery. These military working dogs and their incredible sense of smell can find an explosive device in the ground, in a building or in a car, saving whole platoons of soldiers. And they are trained to patrol alongside their partners, protecting them and others from the enemy. These highly skilled dogs are no longer looked at as equipment, but rather fellow soldiers. As these animals ultimately give their entire working lives to the military or to America, it's appropriate that they get the best of veterinary care. And they get it at the Holland Working Dog Hospital, named after an Army veterinarian who died in the line of duty in Iraq. Here, over 900 dogs in various stages of training are cared for, from skin diseases to orthopedic surgery.
This would be my intensive care unit.
Operations Manager Master Sergeant James Smith says everything in the building is state-of-the-art.
We can do electrocautery, arthroscopic, any type of orthopedic.
There is an MRI and a complete on-site lab. But it is the staff of veterinarians and vet techs who professionally and lovingly care for these dogs that is equally impressive. It is the pat on the head, the watchful eye on a post-op patient, the sense of respect they have for these talented working dogs. Any dog hurt in battle is first flown to Germany for initial care, but if specialty care is needed, the dog can get here within 72 hours. But it isn't just the physical that is addressed here. It's also the emotional state of these war dogs. Dr. Walter Burkhardt, veterinarian, PhD psychologist, and animal behaviorist, is leading the discussion on the issue of canine post-traumatic stress disorder. Is it real? If so, what can be done to help the dogs?
Literally got the smartest people I could find, both in human medicine, in research, and in veterinary medicine.
The Blue Ribbon panel made its first report last month. As data continues to be gathered, videos like this sent to Dr. Burkhardt from the front.
But the dog is trembling, it's in a crouched position, its ears are almost pinned back, they're back, they normally would be up and alert, and you can almost infer sort of a distressed look on that dog's face.
In another tape,
the guy's actually got the camera on his helmet, so we can get a video of the dog.
This dog has been trained to search vehicles.
Normally the dogs, again, because they love their work, are enthusiastic, and they'd run up and check the vehicles out. And you can see this dog, although he wants to work, he's not going up and using his nose on those vehicles. He's staying away from them.
He finally goes into the vehicle, but spends little time and doesn't sniff around.
Again, that's unusual.
In yet another example, the doctor is sent a tape of a dog and his typical behavior, checking out a vehicle, sniffing with vigor. A second tape is sent of the same dog, later checking another vehicle with a very different behavior.
Look at the tail's tucked, his ears are back. He's kind of almost backing away behind the handler.
He's afraid?
Well, you know, that's the inference, but again, I can't ask him.
The goal is getting them back in the field where the work they do is so vital. Medication may be prescribed. Some dogs can be helped. For those that can't,
at least get that dog out of harm's way.
They are brought back home for treatment. As the study of canine PTSD continues, so does the breeding program at the hospital for the next generation of military working dogs. Born out of the need not to be dependent on foreign supplies, hundreds of Belgian Malinois have been born here. Roughly 50% go on to be soldiers. The other 50% become pets. For the working dogs who don't pass the tough military certification, 60% go to other law enforcement agencies. For dogs who have served their country and are ready to retire, there is an adoption program. Adoption coordinator John Eggstrom says there is a 1.5-year waiting list.
I think there's a lot of people that are guided by patriotic feelings and understanding that the life of a military dog isn't easy, and that may motivate a lot of what they want to do.
That perhaps, and the knowledge that these dogs are among the best of the American military. Prior to the year 2000, military working dogs were euthanized after they retired. The passage of the Robbie Law changed that. Now, as we just reported, military dogs can be adopted, very strict guidelines, long waiting list, and lucky people who get them.
Sign me up.
And can that trauma be treated? Can they help those dogs become healthy again?
They're not saying. They want more data, but yes, they're kind of mimicking what they're doing with humans.
Extraordinary story. Loved it. Thank you, Angela.